Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Psycho Commander, and I wanted to show you something. See, I'm very excited. Remember the last time I was here, I showed you guys a terrain build. Well, we got another one. This time, if you're into the grim fantasy and supernatural and vampires, this should be right up your alley. And if you're a person who's looking into getting into building wargaming terrain on the cheap, this also may be right up your alley. So join me in building the ruined vampire manor. And there is going to be more to this build, as this is just one piece of it, and we're going to be expanding it. And it'll be a nice little series. Hope you enjoy.
Alright guys, so to begin on this build, I actually did things a little bit differently than I normally do. I decided that I was going to go with cardstock, or simple cardboard that you can find from, cereal boxes and stuff like that. I think I actually used a cereal box here. What you see is I actually made sort of a stencil for myself that I just kind of drew random, not random shapes, but I drew some shapes in the idea of where I wanted certain lines to be for my curvatures. What I did was score it, as you can see, and then I bent it along the line of where it was scored. Kind of why I wanted to do that, because I knew the cardboard would be able to handle that. I had to redraw the door, as you could say, but that's what I did in order to frame the walls. I then decided to use that same piece in order to cut out further walls that I would glue onto the side tabs that you see there in order to lengthen. And following this template sort of loosely, but still following it in order to get kind of an idea, because I didn't want this building to have a shape that would be, I didn't want the building to have a typical just square or triangle ruined shape. I wanted something that would catch the eye. So I was inspired with this style of building by Dyson Devs. If you've not seen their channel, I really like their channel. Dyson Devs is really fun. I also like Surlac. I think that's how, I hope I'm saying it right. And my approach is a bit chaotic, like his, which but I also enjoy Bill making stuff, and those are kind of my, I guess, inspirations, if I would have inspirations on how I want to make these videos. So yeah, there's that. So I did that, and now you see me breaking up the walls in order to create ruined walls, because I wanted the walls to be ruined because it's the ruined manor. So it makes sense for the walls to be collapsed. I was also thinking, this is something that Dyson Dev says a lot, is to think of gameability when you're building. You want to think of gameability. You want to think of how the players would utilize the environmental features of the build. So I'm just cutting now popsicle sticks into shape after having hot glued the walls in and cut away at the walls a bit, and I'm just fitting in bits of wood where I can, try to fill in the entire floor. And I was eyeballing the angles and sizes, and somehow I was just kind of working out. You can take more precise measurements or whatever and figure out ways to cut it truly to the size it's supposed to be, but I didn't do that. I just kind of I have a chaotic workflow. Like I said, I just kind of see where things go, and I just kept on going with that method until the entire thing was covered in the wooden popsicle sticks, the ice cream sticks, there's the crafting sticks, whatever these sticks are, these popsicle craft sticks things. I start to score them. I don't know if this really even mattered at the end of the day, to be honest with you. But I did score them with the Exacto. I get like the whole, the offset that you will get when you do like the floorboarding or whatever. I don't think it really mattered. I don't think anybody saw it. I don't think anybody could really tell. Maybe it did stuff. I don't know. But I did that. Then next, I'm using these other kinds of like weird popsicle arts and crafts sticks, and I'm beginning to make the base. I was making the base for the floor that you see there. I didn't show the entire process, but I did that to make the second floor. What I did was I stuck them, onto the frame and then glued the sticks horizontally across in order to make the second floor. Here, I took a Oreos box of some sort, or a Toast 'em Pop-Ups box, and I started to cut it up in order to create the foundation for the walls of the second floor. Here, what you see me doing, I'm gluing it on the bottom lip, because I kind of bent that piece like so that it would be a bottom lip, and I kind of just tucked it underneath. I'm over here making motions with my hand that you can't see, but I folded the bottom of it, and then to make a lip, I put the glue and I put that underneath and that's how, you know what I'm saying. So here I'm sizing out the roof, because I made a triangle piece that you saw that I glued on to the top of that little box piece up there, and then I put that was actually like the tab of the cereal box. It was awesome, and it just kind of fit, so I just put it there, and that worked out to make the roof. Now I'm cutting out windows here using a stencil that I made. It didn't matter. I abandoned the stencil idea and just started just doing my best. I should have put the windows probably lower because they're too high, but whatever. I wasn't thinking about that. I just made windows. Like, I should have probably made the windows lower. I'm thinking about that for the next build. Making gameable windows. But I was cutting in what I could and just figured what I could do. So here I'm taking small slabs of card. I'm cutting them up into individual shingles, basically, or shingle strips, and I use a little glue, and then I put that and stacked on top of each other on the roof. You can't see it because I suck at catching stuff on camera, because framing. I'm a dum-dum. Hopefully I fixed the framing at some point. I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. I'm pretty sure I fixed the framing, unless I don't, and then you guys just don't get to see me doing the shingles. But at least you have the description of me doing the shingles, which I guess that's valuable if you needed a description for how to do shingles. Anyway, well, on a miniature thing that you made from garbage. There you go. See, I fixed the framing, so you get to see me putting at least a little bit up on there, but you get to see also how it looks. The process of what I was doing. Basically, it's all just that. Just glue it on there, and after you cut it up and bend them a little, is what I did too. I bend them a little bit, give them a little bit of personality, so to speak. So, yeah, finally, get to the top there, and look at that. Look nice, don't it? So, of course, now I'm doing the other side. One thing that I find kind of therapeutic when doing the shingling of roofs and stuff and miniature building is that I really like the bending part, and the painting on it is fun. I just find it therapeutic. So here's some shots of where I got to at that point. Weird that I showed a shot of the windows being boarded up there. I haven't actually done that yet in the video, but you'll see how I do that. Or no, or not. Maybe you won't. Anyway, yeah. Well, I cut up popsicle sticks and kind of just made frames and glued those on there. I'm so sorry for not showing that. But anyway, well, we move on. Here I'm kind of like pleased with the idea of making beams out of these matchsticks, and glue on these matchsticks. So that's what I decided to do. I used 2 for each section. So or 4 rather, but 2 for each section. Like either, so there's 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. You know, a section, and yeah. So I just stuck the glue on there, and I just boom, boom. You know, as you can see, putting the matchsticks on there. I got them from the dollar store. I got the matchsticks from the dollar store. There was a pack of matchsticks in the crafting section of the dollar store, and I got those from there. The same place I got the popsicle sticks and stuff. You know, it's not hard to find this stuff. This my thing is to try to like make it so that, like, you could, like, anybody can make this stuff, because it's like, you know, it's upcycling garbage essentially. Like, you can get this stuff anywhere. It's not like hard to find type of stuff. That tangent aside, there I am just now going along the frame of the building, kind of building like a wooden frame to that's going to contain what we're going to do later. I'm going to be doing bricks later, individual bricks that we make from foam core, dollar store foam core, also found at the dollar store. But yes, here I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I thought I was going to just put like a popsicle stick straight across, and I ended up not doing that. I did like this weird kind of angled thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It just looked good in my eye. So I was like, you know, if it looks cool, it probably looks okay, right? Like, you know, just make sure that, you know, like, you don't always have to, there's, like, you're not building an actual house. You don't have to follow rules, right? Do you? Or I guess you do, sort of, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, whatever, just do what you want. So that's what I did. And now I'm gluing in more of the beams on the bottom. And I wanted to section out that front in order to make it look interesting. So, you know, because like, I feel like the more detail that you add to things, you know, gluing stuff catches the eye, you know what I mean? You gotta, you know, figure out where you kind of want to just put stuff. And that's kind of what I did there. I'm sweeping all that away. Here, what I'm doing, I did the bricks along the doorway first, because I wanted them to curve along the doorway, as you can see. I had to clip some of them in order to kind of make them make sense and be a little bit more flush to each other in the stack. Then I just used some white glue, and with the white glue you just kind of just make sure that it actually squeezes out first, and then slather it kind of all over. And then with a little tweezer I took the little bricks that I made of foam core, because what I take strips of foam core. I'll cut foam core into strips, and then I just cut up those strips into individual bricks, and yeah, and you use those to fill in the spots in between the frames where you made the frames for the walls, you know. And that's how it looks after. Yeah, I didn't get all the paper off. It was hard. I didn't have the easy peel, but it ends up looking all right. Don't worry, trust me, it'll work. This is how I make the bricks, though. So like I was saying, it's not making perfect bricks. I'm not making perfectly like square or rectangle or whatever the hell bricks. But I also don't care for them to look perfect. I want them to be all kinds of shapes and sizes. It's ruins, you guys. So you want it to, you know, be crazy. I did whatever I could. As you see, the knife, the scissor, the knife, the friggin' God, I'm gonna have to edit that out. But the knife and the scissors, whatever I had on hand, I just did whatever I could to, you know, make these bricks. And you cut them into individual bricks. It takes a bit, but after you have them, you can do what you want. Now on the top, I'm building the base of where I want these bricks, using hot glue so that I could like work fast, and that'll help me get the foundation of what I wanted. And this was to build it around the corner. What I did was I overlapped one over the other on the corner on one side and the other, going all the way up, because that would help to build the wall foundation for where I wanted things to go. So it's you know how you do that. But yes, and then I'm building all around, as you can see, and I decided to stretch it out onto the platform there and covering the wood, because I didn't want the wood in certain spots to be showing. I wanted it to have the illusion of a once completed wall, and that's what I was setting up there. So now I just I probably should have went from the bottom up. I don't know why I went from the top down. I have no idea why I did that. Probably don't do that. Go to the bottom up. Don't do the top down like I did. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, so now I'm just putting on the individual bricks. The tweezer was just getting on my last nerve, so I just started using my hand, and yeah, honestly, that kind of worked better. And I was just fitting them in however I could fit them in, as you can see. Well, get them done. Lining them up on the side, and I started to build them up on top of each other on the side in order to create like a wall that had no foundation. It was just brick, right? But it's broken up and stuff, so yeah. And you'd be surprised the glue would actually hold it. It's nice. And you just, let it sit and dry, and it gets real hard actually. Pretty durable, so that's pretty cool. Now I transfer back to the front of the building, making sure to work around the windows. I think I end up probably maybe doing around the window first, all the way around it, right? Yeah, see, in order to make sure that like everything will fit the way that I want it to. Something to keep in mind when doing windows and stuff. Also, don't make them as high as I did. Don't be a dum-dum. I was a dum-dum. I should have made them lower. And there you go. All bricked up. At this point, I think I'm looking for something. What am I looking for? I'm looking for something. I don't know what I'm looking for, you guys. Oh god. There it is. We're gonna grid it all up. So I mixed a little bit of glue, a little bit of the sand and water to make kind of a grout thingy, like this weird, like gluey, sandy glue mixture thing. And as you can see, I'm just dumping it all over the interior because I wanted the interior to have like that kind of that texture, I guess. It got somewhere like on the wood and stuff too, but that was fine. I figured it'll be okay. It'll look good. It'll be all right. The place it's a ruin. It's grimy. It's nasty. It's supposed to be all, who cares? Just all over the place. Now I'm making piles of bricks and adding some sand to those piles of bricks in order to make them kind of look like, like I said, I wanted the walls to actually give the illusion of having been once complete, and whatever process of ruination that has occurred has caused these walls to come apart and be no longer together. Then I started grinding, like putting this stuff all over everywhere, because I figured it'd be nice. It'd be a good texture. It'd be okay. And it actually didn't turn out bad. I thought it was probably gonna mess it up, but it wasn't bad. So that's how it's gonna look after that, basically. You can see, it looks like you threw up oatmeal all over the walls. Just like if that's the look you're going for, you want, vomited oatmeal look all over the walls. Now I'm putting bricks along the inside of the doorways, and I wanted to make brick lining going all around the kind of the baseboard, sort of, if you will, like a baseboard of bricks. I figured it would work. It would be nice, so I did that, and that's what you see me doing there. Quite simple. Just plop them on in there, and just happy little bricks all along the watchtower. Anyway, yeah. So I did the same thing up here. Up here, I wanted to make that whole surface there because it didn't match the wood. I figured I'll cover it with bricks, and it'll make sense. It'll be a brick pad that leads into the wood floor from that patio that once was. And I was hoping that the bricks that I left in the front of it would give the illusion that it was once probably maybe a bridge or something that went to a different structure, another structure, a nearby structure. I don't know. Maybe stairs. And I figured the brick pad will look nice, and it'd be like a brick pad for that wall. Now, the step was to cover the entire thing in Mod Podge and paint. Mod Podge and black paint. A mixture of Mod Podge, black paint, and water. That's what I did. And just go all around it. Absolutely smother everything, because this is going to help to set everything in place and protect everything And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted everything to be protected. Plus, it kind of gives it sort of a light primer. And also all the other craft people do it, so I'm pretty sure that it's a good thing to do if you're doing like a craft like this. I got a little bit of it on the wood there. I didn't know if I wanted to do that or not, but because I saw a little bit on there, I decided I'm gonna cover that too. I cover everything, absolutely the entire piece. Just cover it all. I guess I didn't have quite enough, so I needed to make a little bit more. This is how it looks after it was all Mod Podged. Now at this point, it was time to start painting. So I started with the wood fixtures. I mixed burnt umber and a raw umber, and get kind of a mid-tone brown that I decided to go over all of the wood pieces with. Anything that was made of wood. Something that I found helps to spread the paint a little bit is if I wet the tip of the brush, but it depends also because you're also going to get a more translucent paint job if you do that too much, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Especially when working with acrylics. Now you get a view of the bottom, you can see it's a Wheaties box. Frosted mini wheats. I like those. Now I'm stippling all over the earth area, or the base. So that's what you saw me doing with the browns in order to get it, earth color. And here now I'm looking for my gray. I wanted like a darker, blacker kind of almost gray. And so I mixed a lamp black with a gray and a little bit of China white until I got what I wanted, which was this color here. I love the texture that came out from the sand and glue all over the structure. It looks nice. It has a lot of personality, and that's what you want to do, those little details, give good personality to the piece. I find the painting part of any project like this to be joyfully zen. I don't know. A lot of people they say, "Oh, it's tedious." I don't know. I don't find it to be tedious. I don't know. I enjoy it, especially hunting a color and doing paint mixing, maybe even wet blending, and just spreading the paint all around. I don't know. It just makes me happy, and I feel like you can just get lost in your mind and think of all the cool adventures and scenarios and ideas that you would like to throw the piece that you're making into on the table. How would you utilize it for your players? How would your players utilize it, against you even? And devising different strategies, fantasizing what could be. It's nice. Nice and zen. As you can see, as I'm painting, it's like pushing the freaking piece around. I probably should have had something to like maybe anchor it. A nice thing I like doing is tack putty. That works. I hadn't thought about that though with this, so I didn't use it. But I probably should have done that. I'm just making sure to get all of the bricks that same color all throughout. And it's at this point that I took a little bit of white and decided to overbrush, not exactly dry brush, but overbrush all over everything, because I actually wanted a good portion of the white to actually end up on the surfaces in order to bring up the light a lot, because I tend to use I use inks, watered down inks with a little bit of dish soap for my washes. And I tend to go very dark on my wash and heavy. So I figure if I lighten the piece, the wash is going to bring it back down so much. So I actually like the white to spread across quite a bit. So I'm not actually wiping all of the paint off. I actually want a little bit of paint on it when I'm overbrushing, because it's overbrushing, not exactly dry brushing. It also aids me in achieving kind of the comic book style that I aim to achieve. I find it to be very satisfying when you overbrush to see how it draws out the details of the things that you brush it on. As you can see, everything has popped in such a vibrant fashion. At this point, I went with a, I forget what red it was. It was crimson, I believe. And I used that for the roof painting, as I wanted the contrast of the red roof to pop with the darker brick that was being used for the rest of the structure, so the highest point would catch the eye. There's a couple of spots that I had to go over a couple of times because I went a little heavy on the Mod Podge and it had pooled in some places. But it was cool because it also offered to make very good shadows. Looks like I'm a great painter, when really I'm just some guy. Now I'm using that same light gray that I originally had, that I was going to be using for the bricks, but I darkened. And I used that for the walls that aren't brick. I really like the way that it covered. Now I'm starting to paint the floors. using the same brown composition that I had for the earthy parts and for the front of the board, the wood parts. I also had added a few more wood boards that I broke a little bit in order to give more surface area for miniatures. I thought about a lot of ideas while I was painting the floor. I figured I probably wanted some battle splatter, if you will, crimson battle spray from warriors that have battled in here before. It is a ruined vampire manor, after all, so I figure plasma from different biological entities would have been sprayed about in different bouts. Here I decided last minute I wanted to add a little bit of green and paint it around with the light green after the darker green in these areas in order to create sort of a mossing effect. At this point is when I mixed my wash, and I go entirely over the piece, all over everywhere, saturating it, using a great deal of it, actually. As I said, I do go heavy on the wash because I do want to bring down and stain a lot of this terrain piece, as it is supposed to be a ruin, and I do want it to be grimy. It darkened the wood probably a lot more than I wanted, though. That is something that I can say, but I could always, if I wanted to, repaint over the wood parts with lighter paint in the future to bring them back to a desired look, I suppose. I always find the washing part to be really fun. I like watching it go all over the place. It's soothing somehow. You should probably make sure that there's no bubbles. I didn't do that. I should have made sure that there wasn't bubbles. I'm pretty sure there's a reason that you don't want bubbles. At this point, I'm trying to paint I'm trying to splatter the crimson in order to create what we had discussed before, the plasma being spilt from battles previous.
Now, it wasn't that awesome. I think it was awesome. I think I did pretty good. You know, for what it's worth. Nothing left now but glam shots. And thank you again for watching.